You know that feeling, right? The clock's ticking, the room is dead silent, and you're just staring at an exam paper. You feel like you know the stuff, but how do you actually turn that knowledge into marks? Well, okay, let's get into it, because there's a secret language to exams, and today we're gonna crack the code. Picture this. It's a non-calculator paper. No safety net. It's just you, your pen, and the questions. The real game here isn't just about getting the right answer, it's about playing by the rules that the examiner has to follow. So the big question is, how do you make sure every little thing you write down is actually earning you points? So here's how we're going to break it all down. First, we'll look at the exam room mystery. Then, we'll deconstruct a couple of real questions and get a look at the examiner's playbook, the mark scheme. We'll see it all in action, and then we'll talk about why this is about so much more than just the final answer.
Think about it. To win any game, you have to know the rules, right? Well, an exam is no different. The real mystery isn't always what the question is asking, but how your answer is going to be scored. And unlocking that, well, that's the key to really boosting your grade.
To really get to the bottom of this, we're not just going to talk theory. Nope, we're going to get our hands dirty with 2 real questions from a Pearson Edexcel GCSE maths paper. These are going to be our case studies for cracking this marking code wide open.
So, check these out. On the left, we've got a pretty standard fractions calculation. It's all about showing the right process. But on the right, we've got a geometry problem, and this one asks for more than just an answer. It asks for your reasoning. 2 totally different questions, testing different skills, and you bet they're marked in different ways.
So, you might be wondering, how do examiners make sure every single paper is marked fairly? Well, they use this, the official mark scheme. You can think of it like their secret playbook, telling them exactly how to give out every single point. Let's take a peek inside.
Okay, so this playbook, it's basically written in code. You'll see things like P for a process or B for just a correct answer out of the blue. But the 3 we really need to zoom in on are M, A, and C. M is for method. You get a point just for showing you have the right idea. A is for accuracy. That's for the correct number at the end. And C is for communication, actually explaining yourself. This is huge because it means the journey is just as important as the destination.
All right, enough theory. We've decoded the playbook, now let's see how it actually works in the real world. We're going to apply these codes to our 2 example questions and see exactly where students are winning and losing marks.
Okay, here's our first problem. It's a 2-mark question asking to subtract some mixed numbers. Seems simple enough, but where do those 2 marks really come from? Let's use the mark scheme to find out.
And get this is brilliant. The very first mark, the M1, isn't for the final answer at all. It's for showing a correct method. All the examiner wants to see is that you know you need to find a common denominator. Just for showing that you know how to start, you get a point.
So just think about that. By writing down this one simple step, converting the numbers so they have the same denominator, you have already secured half the marks for this question. You are literally getting a point for showing your thinking.
And then comes the second mark, the A1. This is the accuracy mark, and it's for the right answer. But, and this is so important, the A mark almost always depends on you getting that M mark first. If you don't show a correct method, you can't get the accuracy mark, even if you magically pull the right answer out of thin air. Method first, then accuracy. Okay, time to switch gears to our second example. This is a geometry problem. It's worth 3 marks, and here's the crucial part. The question says, give a reason for each stage of your working. That phrase is a massive clue, basically screaming at you about how you can get full marks.
And here we go again. Right away, the first mark, M1, is just for spotting a correct geometric fact. You don't even have to solve anything yet. Just by stating a correct rule like co-interior angles add up to 180, you've shown you understand and you've earned your first point. You're on the scoreboard.
Next up, you guessed it, the A1, the accuracy mark. After you've found the right rule, you have to actually use it correctly to get the final expression. So the M mark was for knowing the rule, and the A mark is for applying it properly. Make sense?
Now this is the real game changer for questions like this. The third mark, C1, is a communication mark. You get an entire point just for writing down the reason you used your method. Something as simple as co-interior angles add up to 180. The Y is literally worth a mark. It's an easy point just waiting for you.
So, what's the big takeaway here? Let's boil it down. 1. Always show you're working. Method marks are some of the easiest points you'll ever get. 2. The right method has to come before the right answer. 3. When a question asks for reasons,
Give them. That's a communication mark served up on a silver platter. It all proves that the path you take is just as important as the final destination.
So why are exams even marked this way? It's not just to make things more complicated. There's actually a pretty big idea at play here about what we're supposed to be learning.
By giving out marks for method and for communication, the exam is actually rewarding the process of thinking. It's designed to test your ability to build a logical argument, to break down a problem into smaller steps, and to explain your reasoning clearly. And let's be honest, those are skills that matter way more than any single test.
And that leaves us with one final thought. Is an exam really testing what you know, or is it testing how well you can explain what you know? So next time you sit down in that exam hall, remember, you're not a machine that just spits out answers. You're a thinker. And the real challenge and the real key to success is proving it on the page.